the catch is very simple, is that I used to play this move pawn to d4 and my opponent used to play this move pawn to c5, and what I used to do sometimes is just pre-move this c4, considering that he's gonna play something like knight f6 and we are gonna go into some standard play. But when he just captured, then I was like, bro, if I capture with my queen, then he's gonna capture with my knight, and that's gonna be some trouble for me. So what I would do in shorter time controls, obviously capturing the pawn is more principled, staying materialistic, but I would play sometimes e3, and if he would capture my pawn, then I would capture with the bishop. Now I am indeed a pawn down, and that's very bad news for me, but don't you think that I have a fully extra piece developed for the cost of a pawn, and even if the developing battle goes on, I am the one who's gonna be in the lead. Now of course white is already in the lead, but don't you think these d pawns, these queenside majority can be of some sort of use? And definitely you can't say that black is winning. The game is still imbalanced, and let me tell you, the results have been pretty good so far. And so as in our game, this is King's Gambit. This is very complicated thing at the top level, like theory and everything you have to memorize. But what you do is just think logically, bro, he's just giving up a pawn, I should just capture it. If you play this, then you have this check, queen to h5. Why? Cause you are the one playing principled, you are not the one playing anything bad. And what you play knight c6 is definitely the correct move indeed. And here, bro, you could have developed your queen out, giving the check. Now there's this counter intuition, because our brain says to not develop the queen out early, as I have denied it. But
if I check it that way,
sorry?
if I check it, if I put my queen on h4, they're either going to, they're gonna have to put their pawn up to g3, or they're gonna put their king to e2.
Sorry for interrupting, but you should not even consider such moves king to e2, because if they do that, then it's a good news for you. His king is in the center and he cannot castle forever. So trust me, Ritvik, if you can...
But if he does g2 to g3, he loses a rook.
Exactly. How does he lose the rook?
We check him on e4.
Exactly, and that is why Ritvik queen h4 would have turned the game and I would have lost the game. Now I won't say I would have lost the game, I can play well, but this would have given you a clear winning position. Why? Simple facts. If you go here, I lose the rook and I have to play king e2. And do you really think my king is gonna stay safe in the center, considering he cannot castle ever? Bro, if you have delayed development, there's one thing like delayed development. If the development is delayed, I've said it multiple times, if the development is delayed, you just blast open the center, develop your pieces, and boom, 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 go for the king. So it's like a win-win situation. There's no development at all, and even if you develop in something, that does matter, but my king is gonna stay in the center forever. And the best part, the king has moved, so it cannot castle ever. So do you really think I'm going to waste my time taking my king manually castling? It's going to take a lot of time. In the meantime, you're going to create some sort of attack, chaos, and just mess me up. And if I don't do that, then my king is unsafe in the center. Why? Because you are the one developing your pieces in the center. So whenever you can get a chance to break the castle of the king, you can do that. And it doesn't matter if you can sacrifice, like you can sacrifice up to 3 points. You can sacrifice a piece, you can sacrifice pawns. Definitely you can sacrifice as many pawns as you want. Pawns don't matter at all. You can even sacrifice one piece for 2 pawns or 1 pawn, something like that. If you can get the king to move, if you can remove the roof of the king, if you can open up the pieces near the king, or in a simple way, if you can just blast the king in the center, or you can just make sure that his castle is ruined forever.